take over. Dr. Clarence exclusive reloaded. We are the champions. You know this is how we do it. Fire Harare, fire Mutari, fire Kururi, fire Chipingi, Munu, Mukoba.
Greetings, good people. What's up? What's happening? My name is Dr. Clarence, and welcome back to TV7 Live, where we get to give you all the hottest and top trending topics, broadcasting live and direct from Zimbabwe, Africa. Yeah, you know what we do when we come here on live. We give you everything and thing. Now, yes, guys, today we're gonna be unpacking the South African cabinet. Remember, the South African president, Cyril Ramaphosa, yesterday announced the cabinet, and we saw 6 Democratic Alliance ministers. We saw 6 DA ministers, getting into the South African cabinet. So this South African cabinet right now is a very, very historic cabinet. So obviously it is going to be impacting Zimbabweans and Zimbabwe as a nation. Zimbabwe takes most of its imports from the land of South Africa, right? So we're going to be explaining the South Africa land reform policies, the Democratic Alliance land reform policies, then also the Democratic Alliance's immigration policy. Remember, South Africa is now running its Home Affairs Ministry with Democratic Alliance member as the minister. Big up to Tawana Proud. Enough respect to those watching us live. Make sure you click the like button and subscribe to TV7 Live if you have not yet already done so, so that you never miss enough of videos, because we make videos each and every day. All right, good people. Then we are seeing the Democratic Alliance deputizing also in other ministries, like the Ministry of Finance. Now, with the DA in charge of the Home Affairs, remember, Home Affairs also deals with the issue of international contracts. These guys deal with visas and things like that. The Democratic Alliance will be investigating the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, Wicknell Chivhayo, Priscilla Chigumba, Ren-form deal. Remember, Ren-form is based where? In South Africa. Ren-form is based in South Africa. So, we will be seeing a lot of revelations from the South Africa side. Remember, the Zimbabwe Electoral Commission, they are denying a lot of things in this deal here. So, now, the cat is going to be let out of the bag. Big up to everybody who is watching us live. Dumisani Ngungu, Jiri Say. Now, one of the big stories, yes, that is making waves all over the place is the South African Home Affairs Minister, a Zimbabwean. Is he or he ain't a Zimbabwean? Enough respect to everybody who is watching us live right about now. Is the South Africa Home Affairs Minister Zimbabwean or not Zimbabwean? We're going to be looking into the evidence and also into the facts of that. Yes, we're going to be revealing it right here on TV7 Live. Here we leave no stone unturned. Enough respect to everybody who is watching us live right now. Just bear with me just 1 minute. I'm just going to take a short break here. All right, guys, we're back again on live. Enough respect to everybody. Now, this is the new South Africa Minister of Home Affairs, speculated to be Zimbabwean. Now, guys, to Zimbabweans living in South Africa, there is good news for you guys. This DA guys, it seems they've got nothing against the Zimbabweans. That guy, that Gayton Mackenzie guy, who was saying Zimbabweans must go home. You know that South African guy who talks like a bulldog barking. That barks, Zimbabwe must go home. Yes, I'm talking about Gayton Mackenzie. Gayton Mackenzie. Which ministry did he get? Remember, he's part of the Government of National Unity. In it, Gayton Mackenzie, he got the sports ministry. So Gayton Mackenzie is now Minister of, he wanted Home Affairs, but the Home Affairs is given to the Democratic Alliance. Other Democratic Alliance ministers in the SA government is the Minister of Public Service and Administration, Muzamo Betelezi, and then Leon Scriba. We're going to be talking about him right about now. Is he a Zimbabwean? He's the Minister of Home Affairs, right? Then we have Dion George, who is the Minister of Fishery, Forestry, and the Environment. Then we have from the FF plus, this one is not EFF, it's FF without the E. Minister of Majeri, Correctional Services. Yes, so this one is going to be running the South Africa's Chikurubis. Then DA, we have the Minister of Agriculture, John Steen Hussein. So we're going to be looking into the DA's land reform policy. Then the Minister of Education, Minister of Basic Education is Cyril Ramaphosa from the Democratic Alliance. And then another one is Minister of Communications and Digital Technologies. We have Soli Malatsi. So out of 6 DA ministers, 2 of them are black, right? It ain't an issue whether a person is black or white, as long as they can deliver. Yes, a lot of us have that bias towards wanting to balance things based on things that have nothing to do with ability. Sometimes we look at things like sex and race, right? But we should be looking at the ability. I'm not suggesting that the whites perform better than blacks. No, I'm not suggesting that. All right. So I leave no stone unturned when I clarify. So sometimes I might sound like I'm giving very long epistles of speak and speech, but I always try to make sure that a point is left in the bare as it is, and there is no room for no misunderstanding. To those watching us live right about now, you can leave your comment in the top chat or in the super chat. That's how I can see your names, so I can give you my shout outs. Enough respect to Ruth Mbewe. Says, I think so too. DA Irinani. And the DA Irinani money. Yes, guys. All right. I think DA Irinani, Pani PA, Nyayaye Home Affairs Minister. That is Taona Proud. Yes, guys. So the Gayton Mackenzie, the backing guy, the backing bulldog. Yes, he has been made the Minister of Sports in South Africa there. All right. So this is what is happening here. When we go to wikipedia.com, when we go to Wikipedia and we search who? Leon Shiriba. This one is not Leon Shasta. But sometimes if you be reading faster, you may see Shiriba like it's looking like Shasta. No, this one is another Leon there. Okay. So when we do check him out on his Wikipedia, what does it say? I'm just gonna open it on screen right about now. Big up everybody who's watching us live. Enough respect, everybody. I'm very much in good spirits, guys. I know you good people watching these videos. Do not mind my hype, But there are a lot of jealous losers out there. Say, first you own it, Zungu. No, it's called good spirit. They want to see a person speaking like, now guys, all right, now we are on the Wikipedia page. No energy, right? At you're watching this show. So when we look here, when we do look here, we see this. Leon Scriba, South Africa. Where does it say the nation here? Nationality. So far, right? Then we look here. We search Leon Scriba. Leon Scriba. Leon Scriba. I'm just going to search here on Wikipedia. Back again. Here, where it says nationality, it says South Africa. But this Wikipedia page has just been rigged. Yes. It's just been rigged. It was rigged. Remember, anybody can create a Wikipedia account, and they can make posts, they can make Wikipedia posts, they can edit the posts that are already there, but it has to be substantiated with evidence, right? So Wikipedia verifies the sources, right? So when we go back again to Wikipedia, we check this tab here. We see view source, view history. When we go to view history, we can view the previous edits of wikipedia.com. So here, let me just click a previous here, or this one here. So it actually shows you when the edit was made, mobile edit, mobile word edit, quick, everything and thing. And you can even look deeper into the details, like who did what edit. Then, so I'm just going to open here. Okay, this one is 1 July. This one is an old version, 1 July 8/18. This one now, the version at 8:18 a.m. in the morning time, it's showing here. What does it say? Born Scriba Soweto Gauteng, Zimbabwean, right? So the person was editing at that time at 8. Let's go back again and look at another edit. Let's look one from when 30 June. Let's look at this Wikipedia page as at 30 June. What was it saying on 30 June? All right, enough respect to everybody. Enough respect. Make sure you click the like button. Here, the one on 30 June. What is it saying? Nomakwaland, Cape Province, South Africa. This one is saying he was born in the Cape Province. The other one was saying he was born where? In a Cape Town. Okay, down in a Cape Town. Okay, let's look at 2022. What was it saying here? Big up. Keep the comments coming, guys. To those watching us live, so you can give also what you think on this, yeah? Okay. So this one, I think, it's not, okay, I've opened a wrong one. There's an error there when I try to open this one, so I'm just going to open this one. Shall change this duty from Shadow Minister to Minister of Home. This, okay, let me open here. Here it's saying Nomakwaland, South Africa, Cape Province. So we have two. We have two, and this one is from when? 2022. Let me try February 2022 too, to see what we get here when we get through. Okay, this one here, what is it saying? It says Nomakwaland, Cape Province, South Africa. Okay, so this page that says Zimbabwe, when did it begin to say Zimbabwe? That is now an issue, if it is an issue, or is it? Okay, 30 June, 22 April. What is this one saying here? This one is saying Nomakwaland, South Africa, Democratic Alliance. Okay, let me scroll up again, up again. I'm not seeing, because this thing should actually show what is edited. Like here where it says, removing category of white South African using cut allowed, replaced political science to political science. right? This one here. Okay. So let me just try to search nationality. Here, nationality. Does it say nationality anyway? Nationality. Okay, this page is limited. Nationality, to see if there is anywhere where it's showing the tallying of the nationality. Okay. Here, Member of Parliament. What does it say? Cape Province. So this one is June 2024. So guys, what seems to be the case here on the issue of Wikipedia, it seems somebody changed the Wikipedia for some time, nationality from South African to Zimbabwean. Right? So, of course, we are seeing evidence here. Here it's saying Leon Scriba, Harare, Zimbabwe, born in Harare, Zimbabwe. Okay. This one is 820. Do we have one from earlier than that? On the same day, 820, we have 820, 1 July, 30 June. All right, this one is the first edit here. What time is it? $2:21, very early in the morning. So at 2:21, it was South Africa. It hadn't been edited. At 2:21, then we go again up one step. Let's see when the next edit was made here. What is it saying? It's 2:21 again. Here, it's still Zimbabwean. 2, 3. This one again. What time is this one here? All right, guys. So we have this one. Okay, I want to see where it begins to say Zimbabwean, so we can see who did change to make it a Zimbabwean. Okay. Even if he was Zimbabwean, I don't think there would be problem with that, because me and Julius Malema, we have no problem with Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans are our brothers and they are our sisters. So if it means I'm gonna be losing votes because I support Zimbabweans, I will rig the election. All right, all here, it's saying, all here, it's saying, so the 8:18 is the time that comes before 8:20. Let me check 8:18. 8:18 says Zimbabwean, right? 8:18 is Zimbabwean. 7:52. What is it saying? 7:52. 7:52. The Wikipedia page of the South African Minister of Home Affairs still says Zimbabwean. 7:51. 7:51 Zimbabwe, born in Zimbabwe, nationality is showing South Africa. So it's the same guy who was editing here. Here he says born, then he changes South African. So every edit has its time. All right. So is it the same person? So this person has this IP address here. At Kruger National Park. So let me just see how deep. So they made this edit 836, 851, 818. There's things here. I'm just gonna see if we get we can get the exact geolocation of this person. 19761. All right. So I think I've just gotten the person. All right. Let me just verify. So it is not one person who is doing are these Wikipedia pages, but it is actually a company. It is a company that is editing these South Africa Minister of Home Affairs pages, right? So this company does a whole lot of other things online, including hacking. These guys also do hacking. Take note, this is not an assumption. I've just seen something which I cannot disclose here on live TV. Enough respect to everybody who is watching us live. Some information, guys, no longer watching it also, because some people may actually take information and use it. It's good to share information, but so it's Kruger National Park in South Africa. Let me just check it out there. I just want to see where it's located. Kruger National Park. Where is it in South Africa? It's not in South Africa, Kruger National Park. It's in Eswatini. Okay. Remember, Swaziland is not in South Africa. Swaziland is not in South Africa. It's a different nation. Kruger Park is South Africa. It's in South Africa. Okay. Anybody who knows where Kruger Park is, can you please just write in the comment section? South Africa. I will look it up when I finish this live broadcast to see how can I connect this, getting deeper into the people involved here who are editing this page. It is an office of people in the same location doing these edits. It is not one person. That place around the Kruger Park area, there is an office where more than one people can operate from one geolocation. There at Kruger National Park. So obviously Kruger National Park is a government office. Then, unless it is a private national park, South Africa is liberal in many regards in their law. So now that the South Africa Ministry of Home Affairs is now being run by the Democratic Alliance, the issue of the Democratic Alliance investigating Ren-form deals with Zimbabwe Electoral Commission and Wicknell Chivhayo comes to this. When we take a look at Helen Zille is the one of our strong characters in the Democratic Alliance. She made a speak on the stance of the Democratic Alliance towards Zimbabweans.
DA's position. If you're having these criteria for foreign nationals to be in South Africa, fine. But you've got to then have a state that can administer them in a reasonable amount of time, that can have turnaround times, and that knows how to apply its own
DA's position. If you're having these criteria for foreign nationals to be in South Africa, fine. But you've got to then have a state that can administer them in a reasonable amount of time, that can have turnaround times.
legal in the country.
Well, first of all, we believe that the Zimbabweans who have been allowed to stay here on the Z permit, I think it's called.
There are 120,000.
Yeah.
They're not many.
Yeah. They should.
Now, okay, I've increased the speed a bit. Take a look at this guy or whatever he is, a journalist or whatever, a YouTuber or content creator. He's saying, he asked about Zimbabweans. This lady is about to respond. In the middle of responding, he's trying to arm twist, right, and manipulate her opinion subliminally. He says, remember, the 120, while shaking his head, the 120, while shaking his head, right? He's trying to use body language. Body language can communicate to a person irregardless of what you are saying, what you are saying, right? It speaks to the body. We pick it through our eyes, of course, right? But our subconscious interprets the body language that we see. So this guy is trying to influence, but anyways, she remains resilient.
Regularized. I mean, they've been here for a very, very long time, and they've added huge.
Okay, she says they've been here for. I mean, they've been here for a long time, right? Here, she suggests that these Zimbabweans should actually be given citizenship because it's their right.
Massive value to our economy, and because they had that Z permit, and you can't just take it away from them. I mean, they're right, it's something that we don't support. That we don't believe it should be just taken away from them. We believe that you have to have proper laws, you have to have proper border patrols, and you have to build state capacity without corruption to administer them swiftly and properly. That's what we believe.
But you would kick them out.
We're certainly not going to go rounding up people like.
And do you want to kick them out? Then he gives a smack here. Then he says, no, we're not going to be going around and kicking out people.
Concentration
That's what I'm trying to understand.
I'm trying to understand. So, guys, this journalist, in Zimbabwe, we have a problem of journalists like such. In fact, in Zimbabwe, we don't have any journalists, right? So this is an open market for anybody willing to open a newspaper company here in Zimbabwe, a media company. I'm talking of journalists and who do proper journals, and actually reporters who go to the sites to report. Of course, we have a few vigilant people like the guys from Chat 263, the guys from Tech Azim, Tech Mag, and those YouTubers, right? Those are the people who go there on the sites. But of course, there isn't much funding. These guys, remember, these guys are not guys who fall under the Zimbabwe Media Commission, right? So YouTubers, we do not register with the Zimbabwe Media. We're not journalists, right? But we do make journals. We're doing more work than those guys. Anyways, here he says Kruger Park is in Joburg. So maybe I may have made a mistake, but I'm going to find the park in the National Park. Or there's a Kruger National Park. I'll verify on that one. You can Dr. use ChatGPT or Google Gemini, or just go to Google Maps in search for. Thank you very much. Google Gemini, I haven't heard of it. I'll check it out. And thank you very much on that one. ChatGPT Zimbabwe, man, it is backdated nowadays, but thank you very much. It can work on that. Big up to Tommy Wood. Enough respect. My brother, what are you talking about? Everything and thing, okay. Bear with me when I articulate every point and all the linking points such that I cannot be misquoted. No, I'm not concerned about people who misquote people. I'm only concerned about good people who watch these videos and do support TV7 Live. Yeah, guys. So for the Democratic Alliance to investigate ZEC, it takes you and me to instigate. For them to investigate, you who's watching this video right about now and me should instigate them to investigate. So how do? We do communicate with them. So the Democratic Alliance, on their website, they have contact numbers, right? We need to be calling them, guys, and tell them about this story, right? But please don't call those guys or don't post on their social media if you're going to be speaking like Gayton Mackenzie, like this. Zimbabweans are corruption. No. If we see the demeanor of and how the people of the Democratic Alliance handle themselves, they are composed people. I'm not suggesting that they are better than anybody else. No. Right? But it might affect this plight, right? So we just present it straight up. We need a number of people that will push this until it comes to attention. So far, we are seeing that the Democratic Alliance has a bias towards Zimbabweans. Of course, we have white people in the DA. They communicate with other white people. A lot of companies in South Africa are owned by white people. Zimbabweans are performers, right? When I say Zimbabweans, I don't mean all Zimbabweans. I mean the majority of Zimbabweans, right? Some are criminals. Some are unruly people, right? So if you have 1,000 people and you have one criminal out of 1,000 people, that is the 10th of a percent. One criminal can steal from the 1,000 people, right? One, right? So we are not sidelighting one unruly elements in our nation, from our nation, right? We have those, but Zimbabweans in general, they are performers. But we have a few nonsensical people, sellouts, who sell out other people who are working in South Africa. Guys, if you don't have papers in South Africa, yes, the Democratic Alliance has made actually something on Zimbabweans in particular, in Zimbabweans in specific. Zimbabweans, of course, we undermine ourselves, or when we speak on social media, when we be dissing Mnangagwa, sometimes we forget that Mnangagwa is not the owner of Zimbabwe. It is not his own personal property. Zimbabwe is my land. Okay, so we want to sabotage our nation by things like going to Elon Musk's page and telling him to stop Starlink from coming to Zimbabwe. Starlink is going to be benefiting me and you. We're going to be having affordable internet. So guys, to those who are watching us live right now, if you're watching TV7 live, don't worry about watching long videos and your data going down. No, I stream at a very friendly streaming bitrate for that specific reason, such that when you finish watching a 1 hour long TV7 live video, you see, 30 megabytes chat. That is what we do here. This is not some propaganda, but it is me speaking in my own propaganda. Okay. Does your party support continued extension of the Zimbabwean permit? Now, this is what the Democratic Alliance said. The DA in government would introduce the following special dispensation with regard to our closest neighbors. Take note, our closest neighbors. How is Zimbabwe South Africa's closest neighbor when they have Swaziland and Lesotho? There are a lot of things involved. They are not two things. But anyways, let me begin with their point number 1. Allows ZEP holders, approximately 180,000 Zimbabwean nationals, to apply for alternative visa for which they qualify, including permanent residency for ZEP holders of more than 5 years. Yes, guys. So if you have an exemption permit and if you have been with it for more than 5 years, you can actually apply for permanent residence. Now, why has then this come to our attention before? There's a time I was thinking about it in regards to Zimbabweans elsewhere in the world. In Africa, we have a few immigration lawyers, right? And a few of them that we know of are creative. They don't have gorilla styles. They are too academic. They are not gorilla type of people who can think outside the box, right? So at law, yes, these guys are entitled. Even if you stayed in SA as a refugee, you are entitled to nationality. If you stay there for a certain period of time, right? So it has always been possible for you to be able to apply for the residency for nationality, what we call, yes, a nationality status, if you stay there for a long time. Now, the Democratic Alliance is bringing it to full attention. Problem at no time as Zimbabweans, when we get advice, immigration and and going out of the nation, we get advice. We allow imbeciles of society to become our thought leaders. That those people will let Wanwemakua become our thought leaders in society. We engage in discourse with those imbeciles in society. We never take a look at think tanks and also the particular relevant authorities. Zimbabwe and Anagona South Africa for more than 5 years. As number of I look into mtemo ya immigration kuti unoti chii nekugara kwangu imomo. Right? So Zimbabweans have contributed hugely to the South African economy. However, statement randataura irori rikanzwika nemunge muZimbabwe anobva isusu maZimbabwe ndisitutu South Africa ifaye. Of course we are contributing, right? It is a win-win situation for everybody involved here. All right. So if I get misquoted, who knows, South Africa, maybe Kwakuta move to get this absolved. But anyways, we get it resolved. So guys, do communicate with the Democratic Alliance in South Africa over this issue here, Ren-form. It is a big issue. And yes, the international IMF has weighed in on the Zimbabwe issue. The IMF, what do they want? IMF is suggesting this. Zimbabwe must tackle corruption. According to the IMF, the numbers they released, they are very staggering. Yes, they are very staggering in the impact of corruption on our economy. Is thundering. Okay, so Zimbabwe must address corruption. IMF is saying that Zimbabwe is losing at least 1 billion. I don't mean 1 million. No. I mean 1 billion. Tikatorama 1 million 100. I'm not per 100 million. Take note. Tikatorama 1 million 909. I'm not per 999 million. Right? Can I 999 million to go 999 million dollars? Take note. Can I $999 million? Tunokwanisa kupa wanu $1 million $999 each. Take note. 1 billion ikat divide on all Zimbabweans. I'm not sure now the number of population millions mangani. I'm not sure of the number. I'm not sure. It's about 20 million, but it's a number around there. Tikatora 20 million US. Let's say nika ine wano 20 million. Muzimbabwe ni woga. Ano wana iye dollar rake. Tikatora 200 million. Kana nika ine wano 20 million. Muzimbabwe ni wega. Ano wana $10. Pa 200 million. Seka Maria ZEC ngati mboise round figure ngati ti 100 million. Right? Yeti badira ona na Chivhayo. Right? If we take it, Zimbabwe ni wega. Ano ana $5 yake. Yekuti anogona kupedza 1 week rema working days. Achitenga muri wewe dollar every day. Achifida muri yake. Take note. What I'm doing, I'm stirring emotions. No, I'm not stirring emotions. I'm just giving facts that are undeniable. I'm not stirring these are facts. It's just a punchline. Sell out. Okay, so Zimbabwean population is 17 million. So I have to articulate, okay, because when we do, we should kill at least 10 birds with 1 stone. Okay. Zimbabwe population is 17. So per 200 million Zimbabwe wega. Another $10. Per 2 billion. Zimbabwe wega. Another $100. Meaning per 1 billion. Panabuda $50. Pam Zimbabwe wega. I'm just giving you my amounts. Do tell every Zimbabwean, including that little just been born today baby. That little bikini. Even the elder ladies who can now wear bikinis, they are all in these figures. So, it's a lot of money. A whole lot of money. But only a little people, a small number of people and them honeys, they be doing what? Taking these funds. Enough respect to everybody who is watching us live right now. To those watching us live, can you just confirm, could the broadcast Chigumba say, I may have made a mistake and accidentally switched on 3D. I'm using a straight up camera. I'm using a phone as a camera. So can you just do confirm that one for me, please, guys. Enough respect to everybody who is watching us live. Now, back again to the immigration policy. This guys, Democratic Alliance, yeah. All right. Allow visa-free entry, allowing travel, study, and trade or establishment of a business to all Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, and Namibia with a path to permanent residence for postgraduates, those qualifying under the point system, and those whose business have survived. Okay, South Africa now has I don't know if maybe it is already had the point system. Okay, enough respect. Initially, this will not include the right to seek work, and separate work provisions will still govern the ability to work. After 3 years of the rollout of this special dispensation program, review the evidence and consider of setting out a clear plan which eliminate with timelines. Consider setting out clear plan with timeline for integrating Zimbabwe and the rest of SADC into the special dispensation. Take note, guys, Zimbabwe and the rest of SADC. Zimbabwe is an issue. Fellow Zimbabweans, never undermine Zimbabwe. Because we have some trolls who want to control people. So they are not our thought leaders. You know, my Zimbabweans, I am going to Nezi baba harare vakagera rasta ravo rasta rapazvo njavha nderefeki chichi. So usually we listen to those people and then we undermine the impact of Zimbabwe to an extent that we think South Africa is our big brother, when it comes to economy. But when it comes to politics and all the other things that ticks, right, in education, etc., right? When I'm saying politics, I don't mean the politics here, triple C. I mean in the real sense, the real meaning of the word politics. The politics as a sector of government. No, the politics I'm speaking in terms of the intelligence aspect of it. And when I'm saying intelligence, I don't mean brain, I mean information. Okay. The special dispensation program should form part of South Africa's custom roadmap to progressive realization of the Africa Union protocol by building implementation experience in the region. Okay, in the region. So now we see these guys, their stance on Zimbabwe, guys. We just hope that this comes to fruition, where they'll be working with specific policies to improve the timelines. So an issue might be timelines, but fellow Zimbabweans, especially those who are watching us from South Africa, you are entitled to what you are entitled to. Take note. You are entitled to, but it might be an issue of ignorance. So when a specific ministry now takes time to put that to attention, to put resources to the attention of that thing that would have been attaining of that thing that would have been brought to attention. It doesn't mean it wasn't already legal, right? So here they don't need to change any law, but they'll be just enforcing what is already there. I know out there we might be having Zimbabweans are victims, maybe fellow workmates and etc. Right? Of course, if you do have those cases, you can give me the information and we do expose them here. Okay. We do expose them. Remember, guys, I am not a member of Zimbabwe Media Commission, so I am not under obligation to follow their codes of conduct. Of course, I'm a person with dignity. I have my own code of conduct and ethic. I'm no under obligation to follow their policies, right? And besides, I am international, right? YouTube is not a Zimbabwean company. Take note, it is a website. Okay? So, in this place, there's freedom of expression. And when I'm saying expression, I don't mean dissing people, etc. No. We give facts, right? So usually I don't give my own opinion on a private person, etc. What we just do is we give critique live here. I think everything we were going to talk about in this video is talked about. Yes, we have Dr. Pieter Groenewald, who is now the Minister of Correctional Services in South Africa. Is part of the GNU, which is party there, IFP. I think it's IFP party. Johnston Hussein is the Minister of Agriculture. So the issue of the land reform policy on South Africa, the land reform policies of the Democratic Alliance are mostly aligned with those of the African National Congress. So, of course, we are not going to see expropriation of land without compensation, as that would hinder progress, right? However, the future of agriculture in South Africa is bright. One, the face of it is like the face of our sports here, Kesti Coventry. Just the face. Besides, just that, the face only. The bias that people have towards a certain people, the bias is real. Okay, I'm not a white supremacist. I'm not a racist. I'm not a racist, right? But me being not a racist, it does not mean that I do not dislike people with sellout tendencies. Okay, or people with sellout scout tendencies. I denounce people with ideas like such. Okay, I'm not suggesting that Sengezo Tabangu is a sellout. I'm not suggesting that Sengezo Tabangu or Osman Nube, those guys are sellouts. Do not misquote me there. But they make it look that way. Now, when I mention it, hey, the connections, people start making connections. So some issues need long videos because we have to be articulating. When I make a point, then that phone auto pay the point, yes, right? So that I am never misquoted. Enough respect to everybody who is watching us live right about now. So the DA's approach to the land reform is based on the following principles. Land reform is a moral and political imperative and represents an opportunity to investigate rural economies by giving rural dwellers greater access to productive assets. Bravo. Respect on that one. I like that one before I even understand what it means. Why am I saying that? I was watching some of the people who lost their land there in Manize, where the government of Zimbabwe, if it is the government of Zimbabwe or where a private partner, whoever was doing that deal there, whoever is going to be benefiting, the government says we're going to be benefiting. Okay, so people lost their land. They're prioritizing the people of Zimbabwe. A lot of our politicians, they've become land barons, right? They've become land barons, and they've developed the big stomachs that now look like big balloons, and their trousers, they can no longer close their buttons. Imagine, and when you speak, they send you police with the sticks, they call the button stick. Okay, anyways, the land reform program must look beyond rural land and truly address the land needs of South Africans who historically have been excluded from land and property ownership, including the need to access urban land and housing opportunities. Our land reform strategy must be informed by the need to achieve quantitative land targets by the objective supporting a thriving economical agriculture sector that can protect South Africa's food security, promote emerging small-scale farmers where economically viable, and alleviate poverty and support household food security through appropriate assistance for subsistence agriculture. We're talking of homo households here. The success of land reform should therefore be determined in terms of the livelihoods created or supported and economic value created rather than the hectares of land transferred. So here he's talking about supporting the rural farmers and the South African farmers to change their life. This guy wants to make sure that the next election everybody is going to be screaming DAA. All right, if they are able to accomplish what they wish. We must ensure that citizens in the former homelands enjoy their full rights as democratic citizens by giving them security of tenure on the land which they live and farm. Security of tenure on the land which they live and they farm. Okay, for land owners, for land owners and citizens in the former homelands. Right? Tenure. How long are you going to be? Is this my land? Is somebody going to be kicking me away here? Those things like that. Comprehensive support tailored to the needs of beneficiaries as they move through the various stages of business development must be understood and be one on top of the Department of Rural Development and Land Reform. Right? Insufficient funding and institutional challenges in the Department of Rural Development and Land Reform cannot be allowed to undermine the land reform process. Insufficient funding and institutional challenges. So, when they be reforming the land, doing this land reform project, which they just call it land reform, it's land redistribution. Land reform doesn't mean distributing land, but distributing land is a land reform process. Okay, so land reform, it's reforming anything to do with land, right? So they are taking farms, but not without compensation. They've always done that. So that is what it means. But anyways, expropriation of land without compensation, obviously, it's a very populist sentiment there. Of course, it is different from the Zimbabwe issue, where Mugabe reacted to that Tony Blair guy, his stance, etc., and Mugabe was under pressure. Then they did the land reform without compensation. What they didn't know is that the white Zimbabweans who were here in Zimbabwe were the ones who were going to suffer, and again, that would see black Zimbabweans suffering, not Tony Blair and his cronies. They were not the ones who were going to suffer. That issue again, the Zimbabwean government should also see to it that are we going to be getting the compensation from the land that was taken here in Zimbabwe from the now British government. We should revisit those issues because they have an obligation to make. The British government still owes us. We shouldn't be taking money from our own pockets to compensate those Zimbabwean white farmers that suffered during that time. Because in Zimbabwe, every time there's a thing that needs the government to fork out funds, it's an opportunity for these lowlives who engage in corruption to suck out some. Enough respect to everybody who was watching us live right about now. Big up to Tawona Proud, Maxwell Maji, Ruth Mbewe, Tanyarazwa, Tugwete. To those watching us live right about now, guys, Munu wese pa like button. As I sign out, we're gonna be back again at 9 p.m. Bear with me, guys. Yesterday I didn't. Today I didn't manage to make a morning broadcast. Bear with me on that one. But yes, tomorrow we'll be back with that morning broadcast. We do a morning broadcast at 5 a.m. Right? So at 9, we're going to be looking into the in-depth unveiling Zimbabwe's illicit financial flows. We're going to be looking into the corruption scandals and also the late brigadier, whose name I cannot remember, and I don't remember it. And I'm saying it deliberately so we can know who he was and how influential he was, because he's made a national hero. So there are people who are very influential in Zimbabwe whose names we do not know. And what is happening with the war veterans there in Manicaland, we're going to be looking into the land of Manicaland again, what is happening there. Major destinations for Zimbabwe's illicit funds, we have Dubai, Mozambique, China, Netherlands. Now, this is not the IMF research, no. Here we are now talking of funds going way more than 15 billion. We are talking of 22 billions. Imagine, fellow Zimbabweans, all that money that is going away. So do subscribe if you have not yet subscribed to TV7 Live. One benefit of watching TV7 Live is this. When you watch TV7 Live, as much as this is not a news channel, I just tell you what's new. The word news came from what in the news, what's latest. Okay, new buzz. Okay, news in the air. Okay, our definition of news, we usually think it. Now, this is what I'm going to be telling you. The news is read by me, and I'm going to be that BBC accent. I have no problem with it. But when I speak here, I speak gorilla style, I speak the new age style. Some people try to criticize my skin. You should be professional. You should be what? Okay, they don't even know the meaning of the word professional. They don't even know the meaning of the word expert. They don't even know what it takes to be an expert. Actually, it takes 10,000 hours of work to become an expert. Not just mediocre work with improvement. Okay, so those things, of course, I'm open to ideas and suggestions on how we can improve our shows. But there are some people who come to stir public opinion. These people, we call them trolls. So we troll away trolls and we push them away through a cliff when we're in a trolley, things like that. So TV7 Live, you get something that can be beneficial in your own life here and there. We throw in a little bit of nuggets here and there. Of course, I wouldn't want to present myself as somebody who is very wise and etc. You can never do that to yourself. Okay, no person can ever do that. But I do research. When I research, I do research. I'm a scientist. I do seek the truth. All right. When I do research, I do research. I give evidence. I just don't say things without any strings or threads to back it up. Dr. Clarence is the name. TV7 Live is the channel. Enough respect to everybody who was watching us on the panel. Innocent, Nerani, Jirisese, Tafazwa Tugete, Ruth Mbewe, Tawana Proud, Rijo, Dumisani, Ngungu, everybody, and all those who didn't manage to comment. Guys, enough respect. As always, thank you for watching. And I'm out.